What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Strap in, put your goggles on, your eye openers. Do not fall asleep because it is time for the most exciting part of the 240Z M5 mashup Frankenstein build car collaboration series. Building more subframe mounts. You don't want to miss this. Look pretty. So in the last episode of building frame mounts, we had a really exciting time building these rear subframe mounts, and they're chilling. They look good, but they're loose. They're not welded into the car yet, and they're not quite yet done. We still need to build a little post that goes down there that helps align this thing. It posts into that. It pokes in. And then we need to build, today what we're going to be building is the front set. So we need to build the front set, but before we do that, we need to reinforce this joint right here on the frame. Because of how it kind of joins up, and because we're welding two pieces of metal together, we want to make sure that that's nice and reinforced to hang on to that extra horsepower that we're adding into here. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to put a plate over here on this side, so a plate that will go across here. It welds into both of these pieces, reinforcing this joint right here. We're going to put a plate on the back side at a later time, and then we're going to put a plate on the top as well. So it's kind of like boxing in the rail itself. All we're going to need to do today is the plate on the front side, because that plate goes behind our mount that we're going to build. So we'll build a mount and it will be recessed like this one is, where it slides into the frame rail. And for us to figure out how much it needs to be recessed and make it look all pretty and nice, it needs to be recessed over the reinforcement plate here. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to cut out a template out of cardboard that is the right shape that I want to make this thing, and then we're going to cut it out of some steel a little bit thicker than the frame rail, and then I'll start to weld it up. So this is going pretty well so far. I'm learning an important lesson about getting comfortable. When you're kneeled down here working this pedal, really compresses your stomach. When you breathe, it actually moves your body up and away from the weld. And when you're trying to keep this tiny little tip as impossibly close to the metal as you can without touching it, just your breathing can mess everything up. So I had a real struggle down here, and then I kind of reorganized myself and was doing better up here. And this one went definitely okay. Not as good as Eric's welds, but that's why I'm practicing down here, where this is essentially the same as working under there on a car, so it's not going to really show out and look poor. So the idea is that'll get ground down to be level, exactly level with the frame. Same with a little bit of down here, and that'll all get welded up. And then up here, this will get welded up independently, and then up here there'll be a plate that'll come across right here and seal this whole thing in. So that's all that we need to do on this side. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the other side and grind it down flush and weld it up just like we did here. Okay, we got the second brace plate on there. I'll be really honest, the welding is not as good as the first. It's definitely strong, it's just not as pretty, which is a bummer. So next thing we gotta do is we're gonna take our box rail section like this, we're gonna take our round pieces and et cetera, and start doing a little bit of... It's really hot right there. I don't know when I'm gonna learn that after you weld things it gets hot, but it'll be soon. So you can see once we flush cut this thing, it needs to sink in a little bit, but not too much. So the next thing I'll be doing is measuring this thing so it's the right height, cutting it, trimming it, end capping it with a nice square piece, and then we'll put the circular piece on the end as well, drilling holes through all those things so we can start to line it up to get right on top of that post position. got our pieces cut and drilled out and ready to be tack welded on there, so that's the next step. I was thinking while I was drilling this stuff out, how nice it would be to upgrade these tools. With the amount of fabrication we have to do over the next few months, it'd be great to get some good quality tools. So if anybody has a recommendation for a good drill press, belt sander, and I would love to get a nice little bandsaw, small bandsaw that can make nice, clean, straight cuts on things like this box rail and tubes. That would be really, really good. So just leave the brand name and model in the comments, and I'll go check that out and do research on that. I read all the comments. You won't be able to drop links in the comments because those get like auto filtered out, but brand name and model, and I'll be able to find them out and pick up a couple of those things. It's time to upgrade some of this stuff. All right, time to do some welding. Got this bad boy tack welded up, hot as all get out. One thing I realized is, you know, when we set this thing here, it kind of goes on here, and then we measure up to here, and we make this cut so it can slide in, kind of like shelf itself in. That's not going to work very well if we have this extra material hanging off here. So while that's cooling down, I'm going to go ahead and come in here with the cutoff wheel, and I'm going to cut this flush to mount up with the bottom, to match up, sorry, with the bottom of this. And before we actually finally weld this piece into here, we'll want to come in and we're going to finish welding this piece to the bottom corner of this. Then we'll put this in, it'll slide in underneath, and it'll weld around the whole thing, just continuing to like help brace it up. So I gotta clean this line right here up. Feels like that really took forever. It definitely took some serious time to build this, but I'm glad that I took my time and did several different cuts to kind of just shave things down, but you can see it's a very exact fit. And it's exactly where I wanted it to land, so it looks good. And I was thinking, so then the strut tower that we have to build kind of comes up through here, and we'll do gussets on this side, the 90-degree gussets, to keep it stable. Then we'll also have a top cap over here that will kind of cap all this stuff off, help keep it stable as well. And then connecting to the strut tower, we could build some cool stuff too. All probably cool stuff that'll never be seen, but cool stuff nonetheless. So the next thing I got to do is the really taxing part. I already figured out how to make one of these. Now I have to make the other one. So lots of cutting, drilling, cutting, and drilling. Got another little mount base made up. It's too bad we don't have to make any more of these after this, because I'm getting pretty good at this stuff. My welds are definitely improving. It's a little hard to see. There you go. When I don't have to use the filler rod, you can see that they're looking a lot better. The problem is that when I have to use the filler rod, you have a lot of heat changes and different things like that, and that's where I'm having a lot of trouble. But it's not like that's hard to do though anyways. But we got that done. So now we're walking over here, and we're gonna do the same thing we did before with trimming the bottom of this piece off. So we're gonna have come in with the sanding disc on the flap disc on the sanding wheel. How about we use the cutoff wheel with the flap disc? And then we'll go ahead and trim that up right there so it's nice and flush with the bottom of that rail, and then we can like start, you know, drawing our lines, marking everything off, and cutting our thing. Just finished up the last of the rear subframe mounts. Now this isn't the finished product. We can't just weld all these in here and be done with it, because there's one more step. There's one last little thing. And I'm having a little trouble trying to figure out how I want to do it. So on the bottom of that subframe over there, there's these little nubs that stick out. There's these little protrusions from the frame. They are about the same diameter as this tube right here with the same wall thickness, roughly, but they're a little bit tapered. And what those do is, so imagine coming out of the bottom of this, there's a little bit that sticks out down like that. And that slots in to this right here to help it stop from shuffling around, also to help you mount it in the exact right position. So there's one for each of the 4 corners. Then you bring the subframe over to your, your mounting point, and you basically slot it in there. It's like a peg that goes in there, and it keeps this thing 100% centered, so then when you bolt it down, it can't slide around, because obviously the bolt is not as large as the hole. So we need to do that on here. And right now, the best idea of how to do that is, so underneath here we have this hole, which is cut to be almost exactly the right size. And it should be in exactly the right spot because we slid that over the one before. The only thing I can think of doing right now is drawing a circle. This hole's slightly smaller than that one. And I could think we could draw a circle and then cut and taper these things to size and then weld them onto here. But once we weld them onto here, we can't test fit them anymore. So until we have our strut towers built, we probably won't even want to do that at all, because we need to build our strut towers up, then we can cut this rear subframe off, and I guess that's the only way we're going to be able to get our little dowels out of those holes. Because imagine we weld that onto the bottom there, we won't even be able to do that actually. So I don't know. I'm having trouble figuring out the steps and figuring out a clean way to do that. But if anybody has any ideas, again, leave a comment below. I will read through all the comments and try and figure it out. But yeah, I think that's something I'm going to leave for the end of tomorrow. But the big part of what I really, really want to do tomorrow is build the strut towers. So they're going to come off of here like a 3 parts of a pyramid kind of. One's going to come up here, one's going to come up here, and one's going to come off the back there. And then there'll be a flat top with the bolts mounting points. And that will be our strut tower. Once we have the strut tower placed and we know exactly where that goes, then we can remove that template anytime we need to. That means I guess we could figure this thing out, insert the dowels, and then remove the template. So that's the game plan. I really, really want to get all this done tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, I would love to have that thing over here and bolted up underneath the frame.
Look at what all the grinding did to my face. That is terrible.
I seem to have a funny mustache now due to all the grinding. My face hurts like hell due to all the metal that has been shot in it. I need to get a bandsaw. Guys, give me a good recommendation for a bandsaw so I don't have to shoot the metal directly into my face to cut the things. All right, like I said, face uncomfortable. We're out of welding gas. That's the end of tonight. Tomorrow I'll get more gas, I'll get more metal, and we'll get back to work, and I will see you then. If you like BS for Build and you want to help out and support, just go to bsforbuild.com. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we're on Instagram. It's also BS for Build, or Facebook, or Snapchat, or wherever podcasts are sold. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace!